The journey of the soul, post-mortem consciousness, and the understanding of death in ancient civilizations has been a subject that different cultures, religions, and philosophies have wondered and thought about throughout history. People's questions about what happens after death have been answered in different ways in mythology, religion, and philosophy. Here is an overview of these topics. 1. The journey of the soul. In many cultures, it is believed that after death the soul embarks on a journey. This journey is seen as a kind of spiritual transition from the immediate aftermath of death. The soul usually leaves the earth and moves on to a higher existence, another dimension, or an endless cycle. The journey of the soul is perceived as a process of transformation, purification, or rebirth for the person. Hinduism and Buddhism. In Hinduism and Buddhism, after death the soul enters the cycle of reincarnation. This refers to being reborn in a new body, depending on one's karma in a past life. This cycle is called samsara and continues until one reaches the point of moksha in Hinduism, or nirvana in Buddhism. This journey of the soul is an opportunity to cleanse individual consciousness and karma. Ancient Egypt, the Egyptians took the afterlife very seriously. The myth of Osiris describes the journey of the soul after death. The deceased person undergoes a series of tests, and it is questioned whether his or her heart is in accordance with the principle of Ma'at, truth, and balance. If the soul is pure, the dead person receives eternal life in Amenti. Otherwise, it can be devoured by evil spirits. Greek mythology. In Greek mythology, the soul of the deceased goes to Hades, where it continues to exist in the afterlife. Life in Hades is a much more grey and lifeless version of life on Earth. A ferry driver named Charon takes the souls of the dead across the river Styx. Christianity. According to Christian belief, after death, the soul appears before God and is guided to heaven or hell, depending on one's beliefs. Some beliefs include the concept of purgatory, where the soul waits for a period of time to be purified until the final judgment. Islam. In Islam, too, death is the passage of the soul. The life of the grave begins, and the soul waits in the grave for some time after death. When the day of judgment comes, people are sent to heaven or hell according to their good deeds and evil deeds. 2. Consciousness after death. Post-mortem consciousness has led to debates about whether a person's soul or consciousness can exist after the death of their physical body. Most cultures recognize that death is not a definitive end to consciousness and that some form of life continues. Near-death experiences, NDE in modern medicine. There are testimonies that some people still have conscious experiences after cardiac arrest and cessation of brain function. These experiences include elements such as passing through a tunnel of light, seeing the dead, or a feeling of extreme peace. Such experiences may suggest that the soul is somehow separated from the body and consciousness continues to exist. Philosophical and spiritual approaches. In philosophy and in some occult teachings, post-mortem consciousness is regarded as a kind of merging with the collective consciousness or reaching a cosmic awareness. Some teachings argue that consciousness continues on a universal plane after death and that the essence of the person merges with existence. 3. Ancient civilizations' understanding of death. Many ancient civilizations took death and the afterlife very seriously and developed rituals to deal with it. Each culture's understanding of death is deeply rooted in beliefs and rituals. Ancient Egypt, the Egyptians argued that death did not only mark a physical end, but that the soul continued to live on in another dimension. Burial chambers inside the pyramids were furnished with food and valuables so that the soul of the deceased could survive for a while longer. In addition, rituals were organized for the soul of the dead to be directed to Osiris and judged. Mesopotamian cultures believed that after death, the soul had to go to a dark underworld. This underworld was a place where souls waited and were punished under the rule of Ereshkigal. Ancient Greece, the Greeks expanded the understanding of death as the separation of the soul from the world and the afterlife. However, they had an understanding that the soul of the deceased continued to live on, somehow connected to the survivors, to which they attached great importance, especially in their funerary cults. Conclusion. Ancient civilizations and different cultures saw death as a transformation and spiritual journey, not just an end. Although this journey varied according to different belief systems and cultures, they basically argued for the existence of post-mortem consciousness, a kind of continuity even after the end of life. These insights have given